everywhere. Once the health's getting spoiled, automatically we start releasing the control that we don't have enough power. So we are releasing the control that comes. But without reaching that state, if we do that, that is called surrender. After getting beaten up, then if you do it, still there is a desire of, if we have some, I have some power, I will do it. If I have some power, I will still do something to ensure that I will change things. That's the thing will be there. We can still put an effort and all, but keeping the focus too much on the desire, not the result, not the desire, is called not surrender. Surrendering the result actually is called renunciation. துறவு என்பது விளைவின் மீது பற்று வைக்காமல் செய்யக்கூடிய காரியங்கள் தான். So we know that all these facts we know already, but still everyday life, if you see, life goes like that. We meet a lot of challenges every day, again and again, the same circle we are coming back again and again. So meditation helps you to go and deeper inside and highlights where and all the areas that you need to surrender yourself. And that is what meditation. Many of us know Guru, read about the life history of the Guru, heard about Guru from several people, but we can understand more about Guru more we go into ourselves. Yes, more surrender happens, more deeper you can go into yourself. Without surrendering, we cannot go deeper into ourselves. Without going in deeper into ourselves, we cannot understand Guru or we cannot understand God. Because I will tell you a simple example. There is, let's say, a Max professor living next to your home, neighbor. He has done a PhD research, invented a lot of mathematical formulas. From at the outset, when you see him every day, you will say he is a great genius, Max professor. That is what the level of impression that you will have. So you start learning Max now. Before that, you don't have any interest in Max. What you do, you start learning Max. You started learning the basic Max. Then you realize that person is doing this much. Oh, you understand the genius or greatness. You learn little bit the Max, then you can see how much knowledge that he possesses. So then you decided to do bachelor's in mathematics. You finish that. Then you see, oh, bachelor's in mathematics, I've learned this much. He has done doctorate, so many inventions he has given. So he must be really so much things he knows. So you know the value of him more when you do a bachelor's in mathematics. Then you do a little more master's in mathematics. You understand, oh, this person knows all this. Then you try to do research in mathematics, trying to invent something. But you are not able to invent for some reason. It comes by nature, right? So then you realize, oh, that person has invented so many. Now you know the geniusness, how much genius he is. Much better than the earlier days when you have not learned even the basic things of mathematics. So when you do not know the mathematics, you know he's genius, but you do not know how much genius he is. But when you start learning mathematics little bit, you understand the depth of geniusness that he has. Until then, you know that's a genius like a common man. Same way with a Guru as well. We all know that Guru is great. We have read from book, life history, so many events about him. But the greatness of the Guru, whatever we have learned from books and all, maybe 1 degree or 2 degree about him. There is 100 degree or 360 degree about the Guru. It's very difficult to know. Whatever we read from book, learn from other people, it's just probably 1 or 2 degrees. That's what we know. If we want to really know a little more about the Guru, we need to know about ourselves. Without knowing about ourselves, we cannot know about Guru. In fact, we cannot know really about anything else in the world. So knowing about ourselves requires going into ourselves. Going into ourselves means going deeper into ourselves, means calmness meditation. And as we do that, meditation helps you to go into yourself. Surrender helps you to drop out the things that unwantedly the mind holds. And the surrender is more sincere, more wholeheartedly the surrender comes. When the surrender is at soul level, Atma Samarpanam. When the surrender is at Atma Samarpanam, Atma Samarpanamaga and the Charanagati நிகழ்கிறதோ அப்பதான் அது உள்ள பெனிட்ரேட் ஆக முடியும். Until then, the periphery, we will live in the periphery of the world. As long as we are in the periphery of the world, we will see the Guru also in the periphery. It will see things, the Guru, from an outer mind. Outer mind does a lot of calculations. It calculates with money. It calculates with the power, fame, etc., etc. With those attributes, it will assess the Guru. Oh, Guru has taught us exercise. So he knows in and out of the body and this, that, and all. It might think Guru is so powerful. He has went to United Nations and talked a lot of things. So many disciples, so many centers. It will start measuring things with these parameters. He has cured the disease of many people. It will do all those things. But when you cross and depth of, you immerse yourself into the depth of your own subconscious and superconscious mind. And from there, when you start seeing yourself first, you will see yourself as a true person. Then slowly you will see little bit immersing into yourself has given you this much amount of wisdom or liberation from the day-to-day world, how much he has gone inside and how much he is liberated, that you will learn. The correlation so far with the worldly matters, outside appearances, Thula Shariram, or in the form of physical body, the measurement will be there. But when you liberate yourself from the bondages of the world, like attachments, by surrendering yourself, then you will see yourself, true yourself. You will slowly start realizing the yourself. You will know about yourself. When you start knowing about yourself, you will see how great the Guru is. You will start seeing the Guru, and the greatness of the Guru will start showing. Yes, we are all thinking the Guru is actually in the form of physical body. He will not have that kind of a physical body sense at all most of the time. It's called Sagaja Nishtai. They won't have any body sense most of the time. Very little body sense. We are thinking our body is main, body is important. Health is of course important. I'm not denying the fact. Because a healthy body only can do even meditation. He will not have even that sense at all. It will be like floating in the air, completely floating in the air. Like you are floating, let's say you have wings and you are floating like a bird. And if you are walking, how you will feel? That is the kind of a blissful experience the Guru will have. I can't describe that because even I have not gone to that. How much depth I have gone, from that level only I can see. I can't see his level because he is at much, much higher level. So higher level in terms of depth, he has gone inside, completely surrendered himself, completely merged with the universe. There is no two. Guru doesn't have a true feeling. He doesn't see you and the other person and himself as a different. For him, everything is same. One and the one and the one and the same. We are talking everything in the words, but still there is a difference. There is a distinction. There is a mind is split between you and the other person, objects and everything. For him, everything is same. So he's anytime he wants to leave this body, he can leave. He was just holding on to this body for a purpose, for helping others, for liberating others, for the people who are suffering, for them to get liberated. He gives some ideas, but it again, how much we are traveling with them matters, because many times things go as an information. When I say information, we get a lot of information from a lot of sources, and it goes as an information. Information doesn't penetrate that much into ourselves. When you let that penetrate into yourself, the information becomes a transformation. Yes, transforms you. Guru transforms you. Because when we associate with Sadguru, the vibrations of, he's connected with, merged with the universe most of the time. Very little they will use the mind. You may be surprised when I use this. Many times, the rishis and saints, they will not use mind just like that. They will use mind only when it is needed. We are thinking mind is a wave, and my mind is not controlled. We are thinking about, right? They will use the mind only when needed. They will not use the mind simply just like that. So they don't try to control the mind also. They just sit behind the mind. They sit behind the mind, the root of the mind, where the mind starts. They sit in that place. That's a static state. And from that state, whenever they have to do something, they operate the mind, use the mind, do something, then come back again, sit in the static state. But for us, we are in the mind. Mind means it will have its own repercussions, ups and downs. It will hold something. Mind, the nature of the mind is holding something. Without holding, mind cannot form. As long as the mind is formed, it holds something. It has an object. It has a subject. For around that, it circles around the subject. It circles around an object. It circles around an event. It circles around something in our life. And that is causing suffering, stress, and everything. We need to release that. We all came in this world without a desire. We'll all have to live this world even if we desire. Even if we desire, want to live for 200 years, cannot. So we'll have to leave this earth, whether you desire, have a desire or not. We came into this earth without a desire. So this desire is the fuel to the mind. Yes, desire is the fuel to the mind. The desire is formed due to the needs, basic needs of the life. And basic needs are even fulfilled, but still the desire is still there, because once you give acceleration to your vehicle, it keeps on moving in some direction. Even if you apply a brake, it still moves a few yards. It doesn't just stop just like that. Same way, as long as desire is there, it will keep fueling the mind, and the mind will completely wavering. It will cause a lot of stress. So the surrendering drops the unnecessary objects from the mind. Yes, we need to do that. We need to do that surrendering. When we do that surrendering wholeheartedly, slowly, one by one, the subjects and objects, the events, the mind holds will drop off. And it will slowly touch the vacuum inside, which is called soul or Atman. Yes, it will happen when you allow it to happen. That is a technique. There is no other technique available. So why we are holding that? Ask the question, do the inquiry. So many times we were worried about our children, about their future. How many years? 5 years, 10 years. Another 5 years, we'll worry. After that, what's going to happen? No one knows. So we keep on worrying about our children, or worrying about job, worrying about health. Even if we worry or if we don't worry, whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen. So why the mind is continuously worrying about that? Ask the question, inquire that. Okay, I'm not going to think, I'm not going to worry about that. Let me stop, let me release that attachment, surrender that to God or Guru or something like that. If you do that, repeatedly, if you do that several times, you will feel free from that bondage. Anyhow, you will be freed one fine day. That is different. Whether you like or do not like, you will be freed. But if you let it happen in this moment, that's called liberation. Like that, few things we are holding in our mind, maybe 5 or 10, not even single digits. It's in single digit for all of us. It has been habituated. So the mind is actually a wave. Ocean, it's the center of the ocean. It travels so long, and the waves touch the seashore. So the wave has to travel that much. But the mind here formed and confines it to a single object called children, single object called job, confines the conditions. When it does that, the waves become ups and downs so much. Yeah, large amount of water is there. But if you're trying to push into a small bottle, what will happen? So much pressure it will create, right? Same way, the mind is so vast, it can expand like anything. But if you are confining that into a small thing, means that's called stress. Thinking that we can change it and control the life, that is a fundamental problem. That we can change and control the life is a fundamental. We can do something, blessings, harmonious, all these things are there, agreed. But still, beyond that, we need to come out of that. Why so much? Why so much I'm worrying throughout the day by losing all my energy with that? Let me surrender my attachments to the nature, to the God, whatever we think. Unless and until that happens, we may do meditation for years and years and years. Liberation will not happen. Yes, when we have pain, we do it. Yes, you are holding a toy in your hand. The child does not gives back the toy to anyone else. The mother is trying to take the toy away from the child. The child does not give it so easily. Cries, no, I can't give you this toy. I need it. Without that, I can't live. He cries, and all sort of adamant things that child does. Leave the child like that. He carries so tightly the toy, and 5 minutes, 10 minutes over, just keeps the toy down. Why? It hurts. Just the toy only, but holding it so tightly creates sweating inside. The shirts are wet because the toy is so tight, creates sweating. So automatically the child drops the toy. So it's freed now. But the child was thinking that by holding the toy, it thinks that it can play with the toy forever. It can protect the toy so that by protecting the toy, tomorrow the playing with the toy is not affected. Playing with the toy gives the happiness. So happiness is directly proportionate to holding the toy. That's the confusion. So by holding the toy, happiness will be preserved. That is what actually the child is making the mistake. So if you if you if you understand this, if you understand this same way by holding the worldly things, by holding the job, by holding the belongings, by holding our relations, by holding this body like the child, holding the toy, thinking that that will offer happiness, we are holding all these things, thinking that we are protecting it so that the future tomorrow we will be happy. But happiness is restored immediately the child once it drops. Tomorrow some other toy will come, not this toy, some other toy will get. Even if toy is not there, still life can move forward. So we need to understand that. Of course, when we live in the day-to-day life, attachments are bound to happen in our job and growing up children. All these things are there, but still holding it so tight is means stress. That is where we need to surrender. So surrender to God we can do, but God, I have no one has seen God. How can I surrender simply? Can I go to a temple and surrender to a statue? If you believe so much, you can do it. Surrender to nature. Nature also not going. Confident is not there. So Guru is the only way out. So the only way out is Sadguru. So surrender at the Guru. Yes. Saying is easy, but doesn't come so easily in life. So think about that. Whatever I am saying, it doesn't come so easily. When the pain comes, then only the child drops it. But you may take whatever I am saying is a little bit different or something like that, but that's the truth. When the pain comes, until then the child is holding it so tightly with its own ego and adamant. Once it hurts the hand, it drops it. But before that, if the child drops it, it's brilliant, it's intelligent, it's intelligent. That is what all the satsang, everything is being taught. All the Vedas, Upanishads, everything is talking about the same thing. உடல் பொருள் ஆவி அத்தனையும் பூரணமாக சரணாகதி செய்யும் போதுதான் துரியாதீதமே சித்திக்கும். எல்லாத்தையும் சரணாகதி செய்யும் போதுதான் அந்த துரியாயுதமே முழுமையா சித்திக்கும், தானாக சித்திக்கும். கரைந்து போகும் தன்முனைப்பு காணும் தெய்வம் ஒரு பாட்டில் சொல்லுவோம். இறைநிலையோடு எண்ணத்தை கலக்க விட்டு ஏற்படும் அமைதியிலே விழிப்பாய் நிற்க நிறைநிலையே தானாக உணர்வதாகும். உடலில் உயிர் தங்கு மட்டும் உறைந்து உறைந்து அந்நிலையில் பழகிக்கொள்ள உலக இன்பங்களிலே அளவு கிட்டும் கரை நீங்கி அறிவு மெய்ப்பொருளாய் மாறும் கரைந்து போகும் தன்முனைப்பு காணும் தெய்வம். So your ego will dissolve slowly. Automatically God will be seen. God shows up, not you seek it. It comes up. ரெண்டு வித்தியாசம் இருக்கு இல்லையா? தெரியும் எனக்கு உண்டு, நான் அடைந்தேன்னா with my effort you reach it. எனக்கு தெரிய வந்ததுன்னா அதுவா எனக்கு கிடைச்சது. I received it is different from I got it. not I got it. I received it means it came to me. I put an effort and got it means there is a I is there. But this one God comes through as a revelation. வெளிப்பாடா வரும். அதுவா தானா வரும். அதுதான் இறைநிலை. இறைவன் என்பது அதுவாக வெளிப்படும். It comes by itself. But to that happen, these things has to be dropped. If our mind is completely with these things, it cannot see. It is still in the outer layer of the mind. That only is causing all the stress and misery in our life. And it takes immense courage to surrender. I'm telling you, it takes immense courage. அதுக்கு ஒரு தைரியம் வேணும். சும்மா கொடுக்க முடியாது. Surrender means you just do it and don't do it. You do all your duty. Still that is there. No running away from responsibility. But requires immense courage. If you have that courage, you can surrender. See, many times people think going to an ashram in Himalaya, I am fed up with all these people. So much every day I am struggling with my family members and everyone. I want to go to Himalaya at some ashram, I will sit there. People will think, but going there will not solve the problem, because many people sitting there thinking about the worldly people. Oh, that person got married and having a happy life going in a car. He thinking, the people in the ashram thinking like that. I should not have come here. I should have gone into that life. But at least in the family life, we don't think that. Even though people in the ashram think like that, you may think that they may wear kavi or the dhoti and all these things. But if you see in their deep in the subconscious mind, if there is a movie going on, the cinema poster, if they see, they'll mind will oscillate a little bit. I'm not talking about all the people or rishis or monks. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the normal people only. In their subconscious, oh, should I go to this movie? But I have come here, ashram. Should I go there or not? Confusion. But being the family, your son will call one day, can you go to movie? You can't resist. You will go there, and you will like sometimes. You may not like sometimes. The desire is fulfilled. You are liberated from that completely. After enjoyment, your desire, that desire will not come again at all. So in the family life only, we can get all sort of liberation. Running away, going to a forest, Himalaya, ashram, these things and all will not help. That has a divine positive energy is there. We can receive it. But liberation happens in your home, in the hall. Yes. In the place where you live, in your job. Just the mind has to be liberated. True. I am talking about truth. அங்கதான் நிகழ முடியும். எங்கேயோ ஓடி போயெல்லாம் நிகழ முடியவே முடியாது. உங்க வீட்டில் எல்லாரோடைய அன்பா பழகணும். You need to show your love and compassion to everyone. Liberation, when the liberation is there, love and compassion will automatically flow. When you are attached, it will not flow. When you are liberated, a third person, how you talk. But in the family, how you talk. Difference is there. When there is a liberation, automatically love and compassion will completely flow from inside. When there is an attachment, fear comes. When there is a fear, tension comes. When there is a tension, aggression comes. When there is an aggression, the words go in its own way. As a result, suffering causes. அதுதான் இந்த சரண்டர் சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன். இதை நீங்கள் எடுத்துக்கங்க, கொஞ்சம் take it seriously, because this subject is not something, all other subject you may take whatever may be. நீங்கள் உண்மையிலே தேடுனீங்கன்னா இதை நீங்கள் பிடிச்சிங்கன்னா உள்ளே போயிடலாம். It will take deeper into yourself. உங்களை உள்ள ஆழமாக கூட்டு போகும். It will take deep into yourself. Surrender only. அதான் இன்னைக்கு சொல்லணும்னு தோணுச்சு. Thank you for providing an opportunity. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's so wonderful. Thought for the day, surrendering to the God. I have one question, small question here. Yeah, we are in the material life and we are doing a spiritual practice for surrendering to God. But we know that if you like holding toys and getting holding toys and holding relationship, holding body, it's a really problematic. But we cannot avoid some circumstance like a relationship, wife, kids. Then we know that okay, we cannot hold it in our mind. We can say that okay, we are not doing that. But slowly, if you're how to come into the practice, like small things, how to come into practice. Very, if you give me some example, little bit, it'll be more good. Yeah, small things, how to get off from the surrendering to God, not holding all those things.
Okay, I will try to answer as I have to the best of my experience.
No, not like how to example way to get to surrender. It is, we know the
Most,
meditation it
okay,
comes.
okay. Mostly the worries will come about your job, savings, financial savings,
Yeah, yeah,
son study, daughter study, or marriage. These are all the few 4 or 5 things only, mostly, or health about your family members. All these things only is going to come so frequently. If you categorize that 5 or 6 things only will come. So first, let's take the foremost one that causes mind level stress. Let's say, for example, you're worried about your son's education or daughter's marriage or something like that. And because of that, the mind is getting stressed up. So surrender, think about Guru, that this what is I have a responsibility here. I can do only this much. Beyond that, I cannot do. I understand totally. My capacity is limited here. And I let the nature do its work by itself. And with that, I am surrendering the life of my son and my daughter to Guru. You need to tell yourself. Initially, it will be words. Only the lips will say initially. But if we are very sincere, slowly it will transfer from lips to middle mind, then from middle mind to subconscious mind. And you will see the liberation coming in. It doesn't happen in one day. It has to be a repetitive pattern, repetitive pattern. And you will see yourself slowly getting liberated from these two things first. But you will surprised, another one will come. The third one will come now. That may be something else. That will come out. That also you have to do. And like that, if you keep going, there are 5, 6 things only. And step by step, one by one, if you liberate that, you'll go blank at point of a time. You'll ask a question. When you start getting into that blank, when I say blank, there is nothing to be surrendered. All you are surrendered. Lot of questions, the who am I questions will come only after that. When you surrender 2, 3 things, whatever you are holding, right? From inside, the who am I questions will start coming up. Until then, now we may talk and all, listen lectures and all. The real question will come from inside. So deeply from that. So I have surrendered all my belongings and everything. Now, who am I? What am I doing? That question now really will come from inside. When that comes, that is called the seeking. Now also we are seeking. I'm not doubting you, or I'm not demotivating you. I'm telling you the process how it happens. If you hold something right, it can't go to the next stage. So you do that. Initially the lips will say, and slowly it will, as I said, it will go to middle mind, like that. Take 2 or 3 items. Because the mind will wander, keep on wandering about, worrying about so many things. You imagination it will be created. Okay, my daughter has to be married here. I have to find a guy here, and she has to work here, and she has to buy a house here, and she has to do these things. Like that, imagination will go on happening on one subject. That is what triggering the mind. Once you surrender it, okay, that that is gone. The channel for forming the mind is gone. Now another one it will become. Again it will run behind that. So we do all that thing, then the mind will slowly settle down. Now it will start showing up whatever is inside or deeper there, it will start throwing out everything. And once you cross that layer, it will show up. This is the process it happens. அதுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் இந்த சரண்டர்ல வரும். நான் சரண்டர் கேட்டீங்கன்னா அது சொன்னேன், ஆஃப்டர் தட் வாட் வில் ஹேப்பன் அதுவும் சொல்லியிருக்கேன் உங்ககிட்ட. ஏன் சொன்னேன்னா அப்பதான் நீங்க அந்த பண்ண முடியும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக. அதை நீங்க செய்யணும் 24 மணி நேரமும் அதையே செய்யணும். செய்ய 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 அது தானா வரும்.
நன்றி.
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு வாழ்க்கை வளமுடன்.
தேங்க்யூ. எக்ஸலண்ட் answering all good. Thank you. If you have anybody any questions or comments, please let us know. Unmute, you can say it yourself. Otherwise, we can conclude today's meditation class and then we can meet next week. Thank you, Ayya. Thank you, Subramanian Subhaya. We can bless him from the Duriya. Professor Subramanian Subhaya, be blessed by divine, all government. Professor Subramanian Subhaya and his family, by the grace of divine, they may all enjoy good health, long life, and health, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Professor Subramanian Subhaya and his spiritual services, be blessed by divine, all government. Thank you. Be blessed by divine.
Thank you, Ayya. Very nice thought for this.
Thank you so much.
All
Ayya.
government.
Wonderful lecture as always. Thank you.
All government. Be blessed by divine.